Can you tell the difference between pro and amateur screenwriting in only one page? That's what we test in Spot the Pro. We are three professional writers who are still early on in our careers, and we're joined by two guests with all sorts of industry experience. As one of us hosts, the others will split into teams and blind read 4 pairs of opening pages. One is from a professional, the other isn't. The team who guesses the most right gets bragging rights, but there are also stakes here. If one of us regulars picks the aspiring writer as the pro, we have to read their first 10 pages and give them feedback. So, can you beat these professionals? Let's find out. We are here with actress and writer Julie McNiven and writer and producer Scott Brown. This is an especially exciting episode for me because, as many of you know, I'm from Massachusetts, and Scott and Julie also happen to be a couple of my local friends here. So thanks so much for being here. This is really, really fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Totally. So Julie, you're going to be teaming up with Joe today. Scott, you and I are going to have to try and hold our own against them as we read through whatever Jason's cooked up for us. And then after Jason finishes reading a pair, we'll each have 90 seconds to share our thoughts and make our picks and see who gets the most right. If we pick wrong and guess that an amateur writer is the pro, Joe and I have committed to reading that writer's first 10 pages and giving them feedback. Jason, I'll kind of hand it to you from here. Do you have like a Kobayashi Maru or anything like that lined up for us today?
I do. There's a slight twist this episode. So out of
Right.
the four sets of pages, there will be one Kobayashi Maru where the pair is either both amateur or both pro.
Awesome.
So you have to cite on site as we go through each pair, decide if they're both pro or both amateur, and which
both
pair
on
it
fire?
is.
What's that?
Are they also both on fire?
Right. Yes.
Yep. So you don't know which pair it's going to be. It's going to be one of the 4, and then you can decide at any time to say, I think both of these are amateur, both of these are pro. But the other 3, one is an amateur, one is a pro. Okay.
Awesome.
All
cool,
right.
man. Let's get into it.
Yep. If you pull your pages up, we'll start with A1. Deep space. The Hypatia steams alone through the vast nothing. Industrial class, she tows 20 enormous bricks of ice, linked together in a long string like a train. Each brick, thousands of tons, ice clear as glass, speckled with a few billion flecks of mineral and ore. 4 smaller mining ships cling to the Hypatia's hull. The roughnecks who dare these jobs call the ships razors. The Hypatia flows, drawing near a small icy asteroid. Interior Hypatia, cockpit. A ship of long service held together by spit, grit, and glue. Tupolev 20s and Jonesy 20s occupy 2 beat-up seats. Deep space truckers, mean mugs and grubby t-shirts testify to hard lives lived and a few fucks given. Captain Ibarra 40s bursts in, ducking low-hanging bulkheads. Captain Ibarra, why the hell are we slowing? Tupolev, drifter. Captain Ibarra, no, speed up. Jonesy, but the ping shows buku brass. Captain Ibarra, stow it for once, will you, Jonesy? Deep space, ice asteroid. Cloaked by the small asteroid, a pirate ship lies in wait. A hauler like the Hypatia, but no string of ice. Repurposed to a nefarious cause, covered in vulgar graffiti. The Hypatia's engines spit blue flame as she powers past the asteroid, picking up speed. The pirate hauler comes to life. That is
Cool.
A1. A2. On black, erratic breaths, violent footsteps, metal slaps against cheap concrete. Fuck, fuck, fuck. Cut 2, exterior, shitty motel, 2nd floor, night. Terry, mid-30s, white, holds a black suitcase tight against his chest and races past shadows that dance on motel walls. A long metal cord attached to the handle leads to handcuffs, complete with recently spilled blood as polish. Terry looks back towards the direction he escaped from and sucks down more crisp night air. He nearly loses his balance and clumsily regains it as he reaches room 209 at the end of the hallway. Terry frantically scans his surroundings, then delivers a savage round of knocks on the door. Nothing but the shadows that move to the beat of his breath. Terry, Jack, Buck, open the door. Paint chips twirl to the ground as Terry desperately knocks on the door again. Terry, Jack, goddammit, I have it. Terry looks back down the empty hallway and sees Hal, late 40s, white, walking towards him. Dressed in a suit blacker than coal, Hal disappears and reappears while he walks underneath the dim bulbs that line the weathered ceiling. Hal lumbers towards Terry and smashes the glass container attached to one of the walls and takes out a fire axe. Scratch! Hal drags the axe across the concrete, pace uninterrupted. The shadows around Terry almost seem to flicker with glee. And there you have it. So we will start with, let's go with Julie's team first.
Okay. Julie, you want me to start?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Jesus Christ. Okay. So sorry. Okay. So I love how in page 1, it has that Jason style oozing confidence that's coming out of it. Almost every sentence is like, fuck you, pay attention to this. We're taking you on a ride. But what's happening is not as necessarily immediate as what page 2 is offering, which is very much in the gutter, starting immediately in the middle of the action. I love how the writing is for that. You have that, delivers a savage round of knocks. I felt that what was actively happening was very much popping off the page and coming alive. Whereas what page 1 is trying to do is something very different. It's very ambiance and very trying to connect in a world building tone. And it's not exactly an easy pitch either, what it's trying to do. I think both are incredibly efficient at delivering exactly what it is they're wanting to do. If I had to pick, I think that the confidence that I'm seeing in page 1 feels slightly more professional, even though me as a writer, I think I am leaning more towards page 2 is more what I would love
10
to
seconds.
see. Okay. I'm gonna go with the confidence of page 1, even though I could very much be turned the other way by you, Julie.
Well, I would say the first thing I noticed, well, I love anything space. Even if it's not good, I love it. I mean, I'll watch. So, and I see the confidence that you're bringing up there. I think the thing that I really noticed in the second page was how visual the setup was. Like every sentence let me see in my head more details about the tone, the feel, the weather, the stakes. And I thought, to me, that was setting up the tone really well for what I expect the rest of the script to read like, which is for me very visual and really specific. And I thought that was really well done in the second one. Not to say that I get the tone of the first one too. They're very different. And you're right. I think the immediacy of scene 2 makes me want to know what happens, right? And I think so. If I'm reading a script and it's going to depend on am I going to turn the page or not. Me personally, I would have turned the page on both. But I think the second, because it's in space, and I want to see what pirate ship. Like I want to know.
10 seconds.
Because it's like someone's going to die in the seconds. It feels very immediate, life or death. That one to me reads like I'm going to turn the page faster.
All right. Scott and Nate.
Well, do they have a consensus on it, or?
Oh yeah, did you? So
no, she's picking. So she is picking 2. I'm picking 1. So all right, give us a second here.
Or it could be the Kobayashi.
Good start.
Don't forget.
It could be.
Good.
Am I diabolical enough to put those pages first?
Well, maybe
Yes.
I think that we would think that you wouldn't, and then no.
Exactly.
All right, you have to come to a consensus.
Okay. I really like what you're saying.
Are you still leaning 1? Look, I love space.
No. No, I'll go with you. I will go with you on this. Because I think it's such a
remember
toss-up.
you're the professional screenwriter, so
No, I really like.
You're getting rolled by an actor.
That's okay. No,
Don't you see what she's doing?
be on the one.
Mhm.
I don't know. Yeah. What? Sorry. What were you going to say at the end there?
No, I'm going to go with you because I think that if we're going by what you would most likely turn the page on faster and what is more immediately engaging. I think I am giving the idea of pro writing just a little more. When you're world building as much as page one is, you're allowed to have a little more leeway, but that shouldn't negate the overall readability and immediacy. So I'm willing to go with you. All right, we're going page two.
Okay.
All right, they're locking in 2 as the pro.
All right, Scott, you want to go first, or you want me to?
I think there's a good chance this is the Kobayashi, but you go first. You go first.
All right, I agree. It's possible that it's Kobayashi. What I would say is that page one is technically really well executed. I don't feel as pulled into it as I feel by page two. I think part of that is I can't decide whether opening on a spaceship in that way, like that long shot and all that time spent on it, falls under trope or cliche, like in the sense that like a trope is something that reappears time and time again because it always works, or if it's just like maybe we've seen it too much. But either way, I don't feel pulled in the same way. But page two, the reason that it pulls me in more is because it starts with a very well executed 2-line piece, which is like so hard to do well. And it's where, we cut to Terry and he holds a black suitcase tight against his chest and races past, right? So like that right there, you could have written that so differently. You could have spent more words on it. You could have written it with less care, but holding it tight against his chest, it puts me into that character and I feel what he's feeling immediately because of that. And that right there is like tough to do. It's great execution. I feel pretty sure that page two is a pro, and I'm less sure about page one. I don't think it's the Kobayashi, but it could be. But I'm gonna just go with page two on.
Well done.
Okay.
Under 90 seconds too.
All right.
Interesting. All I'll say is whenever I see more language, I think I'm more cynical than you are. When I see less language, I think that's probably the pro, especially in TV writing, because the crusty old writers, like they're so unadorned. Everything is like 2-line action slugs and like almost no description at all. But there's also something about a space opera where you are starting with something kind of austere to begin with, so it kind of lends itself to that. I mean, my gut is if I had to choose, if one of them was definitely pro, I think it's probably the first. And it's not that I prefer it; it's that it's that the second one is, for the same reasons you like it and think it's pro. I actually think it is a talented amateur.
Interesting.
And if I were guessing, if I were sort of gaming through this, also, rookie mistake on the second one, you got to get the names consistent. The first time they say the guy behind the door, his name is Jack Fuck. The second time it's Jack. God damn it! Well, which is it? Is it Jack Fuck or Jack?
Really
because names
point.
are important.
Really good point. Yeah, that's interesting. So, should we split the difference and call this the Kobayashi, since we're both sort of leaning toward the other one?
If you're comfortable with that, we could shoot them in. I mean, we haven't seen any of the others. So
I think we do it.
We're sticking
I think
our
we
necks
go
out.
for it.
All right, let's do it. Let's say it's a Kobayashi.
Because I could see Jason doing that.
I am diabolical. All right, you ready for the answer?
Okay.
This is not the Kobayashi.
Okay.
And
Sorry, it's me. It's on me. It's on me.
But it might be on me.
A2 is the professional.
Okay.
And
Wow.
Yeah.
See, the cynic was wrong.
Well, you don't have to get the names right if everything else works.
It's all because I have a spec strip called, it was my John Wick, but his name is called Jack Fuck. And no one bought it. No one bought it. No one saw it. It was just almost the same plot. I still think I could sell it.
I think you should keep trying.
Yeah. The second page is a pilot. It's called Bad Days, written by a friend of mine, Jake Lawler.
Oh, no shit. Okay, cool.
Nice.
He was staffed on the crossover on Disney Plus and recently wrapped a room for Kingmaker on Stars. He's got a lot of development stuff and features that he can't share publicly yet, so he's dipping into the feature world as well too. Great guy.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
Great writer. Yep. The first one was what's titled Airlock. It's a feature written by R.E. Hall, and the log line is: when space pirates massacre a crew on the lawless fringe of colonized space, A hardened posse of grieving miners rides out for justice, but as vengeance bleeds into obsession, they're forced to confront what justice really means and how far they're willing to go to claim it. It's a sci-fi political thriller about stories we tell to hide the truth and the bodies we bury to make them stick.
God, I love that title, Airlock. That is
it's
great.
really cool.
Yeah.
He's a writer. He's made an 8 on the blacklist. He's
Cool.
currently under a shopping agreement with Solipsis Films, who produced Sin City, A Dame to Kill For. So he's on the rise. All right, we're ready for B?
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
So I think we should just guess the Kobayashi on every single one, Scott, and we will get at least one of these right.
That means we're guaranteed to get something. Right. Exactly.
Yeah, but then you have to guess if they're both amateur or both pro.
Right.
All right, here we go. B1. Man. Exterior, 1982, Hay residence. Outside Brian's window, night. Adam, 18, slinks towards the window, VHS camcorder in hand. Inside, Brian, 20, 6'2", and athletic, appears through the window, leading a pretty girl into the room. He waves his hands and spins around, giving her a quick tour. The pretty girl, Natalie, 20, is conventionally attractive with commonplace physical attributes. She's a petite woman at 4'6" and 110 pounds. She's wearing a short skirt with a belly top, her hair freshly permed. She moves with confidence towards the bed and lays down on her back, opening her legs. Brian takes his shirt off, exposing his ripped body. He takes the cue and lays on Natalie. They kiss. He moves to the right side of her neck, kissing as he goes. His eyes open and move up to the window where he sees the red dot light from the camcorder outside and waves it off. Adam covers the red light with his finger and zooms in. Natalie's moans and Adam's grunts increase in frequency and volume until the sex sounds stop abruptly. Adam leans away from the viewfinder on the camcorder and squints his eyes. Adam, what the Adam hears a grotesque wishbone snap. Brian, Brian belts out a blood-curdling, syrupy scream, and Adam's eyes pop wide open. His skin turns fish belly white. Another sound, this one as if a rooted tree was being pulled from the earth. Brian's screams are silenced. Blood splashes onto the window, almost covering it completely. Adam drops the camera on the snow-dusted grass and runs as though his life depended on it. All right, B2. Over black. Katya off screen, Russian. I have to. Andre off screen. Just do it. A deep breath, then the sound of squishing in a wound followed by screaming. Fade up on interior abandoned building, night. Katya's fingers are deep inside a bullet hole in Andre's gut. The sound is nauseating. The thick red blood shows it's an artery. It's not good. Andre bellows in pain as she fishes around. We see Katya, 40, lean, athletic, and security guard tactical clothing, covered in blood, fishing inside Andre, 45, thick, rugged, and tough as nails. Katya, I can't find it. Andre, fucking get it. She digs until she pulls out a bullet. Andre is fading. Katya, don't you fucking die. Stay with me. Stay with me, baby. I'm here. She works quickly to patch up the wound with a small field operating kit. This isn't her first field patch job. The building is decrepit, a mix of crumbling concrete and exposed rebar. Plastic hangs between rooms as if someone attempted to fix it long ago. Andre clings to consciousness. Andre, I know you are. He looks over at the most beautiful sword case the world has ever seen. Handcrafted bamboo shoots, hand-carved along with the Japanese writing stained with a high gloss. It's closed. All right, Nate and Scott are up.
Okay. You want to take this one first? Or you want me to go first?
You went first last time. I'll go first. I think I'm gonna go with the second one. I think the first one. Well, I mean, leaving aside the sex dynamics. I
think you have a side hustle in reading erotica, Jason, if the screenwriting thing doesn't work out, by the way. So
thanks.
That's true. That is definitely, yeah. I want to hear you. I want to hear some romantasy in your voice.
I'll do some audiobooks.
I mean, I think it's somebody who knows horror well and has some and really comes alive in the language around the sort of like sounds and senses of like the horror stuff. It's very visceral. I I feel like there's like, I mean, there's an awful lot of blocky description that makes me think maybe this is somebody who knows this genre well, but hasn't necessarily written a million screenplays. I'm not. Yeah. I'm kind of leaning
10
a
seconds.
little bit towards two on it, which seems mostly conventional, but more well, conventional. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm also leaning toward two. I would say like the first one, I agree with you. Like I think it comes across like somebody who knows the genre well. But I guess I'm, and this is like almost more of a technical thing, right? But it's like you don't usually see professional writers taking that much time to describe a person's physical attributes. Like if they're going to spend time describing that person, it's typically something that reveals character as opposed to anything else. And also, it seems like this is a teaser where these characters maybe aren't going to matter that much for the total story. I could be wrong, but it could be that. And if that's the case, you wouldn't spend any time describing them at all. You know, the barest minimum.
Unless
And
Brian's
so,
sex partner is the monster.
could be.
If she's the monster, then yeah, you want to know exactly how
it's very
unassuming
important.
she seemed.
That's
It's very
true.
important to know that your
That's
monster's
fair.
110 pounds.
That's fair. But yeah, I don't know.
On page one, Robert McKee.
That's something that tipped me off, thinking that this wasn't a professional writer. Could be wrong.
It hit me too. Yeah. Unless she does turn out to be like the turkey sandwich.
Page two, and this is an interesting thing, Jason. Is like the way that you set up this Kobayashi is like, you know, potentially calling two professional writers, aspiring writers, in one shot. But I don't know, like this one, I didn't connect with page two in the way that I would normally connect with, I think, professional writing. Um, I don't know. I would just say there's like a lack of specificity in like what I'm seeing from that one. Like there are good visuals, but I don't know. I don't know if
the
I'm
way the
feeling it
building, the
same
way the camera kind of wanders off to look at the building at one point and then comes back to the action.
That is actually really cool.
Is interesting, but also might be a sign of somebody who hasn't done, you know, a million. I don't know.
If I would say page two is the pro, if one of them is the pro, I could also see this being one where you have found
Are we gonna do it
really
again?
good amateur writers. I don't know. What do you want to do, Scott? What are you feeling?
Let's do it again. Let's go for it. Let's do it.
All right. Should we say both of these are aspiring writers?
Okay.
All right. Let's try it. I feel like we're going to get this wrong completely. This is going to be a rough episode for us.
Final answer?
Yeah.
All right. Julie and Joe, you're up. 90 seconds.
All right. You want to start?
Sorry.
Sure. I'll start. That's fine. Okay. I was locked in on Kobayashi Maru because there are 100% professional leanings for each element, but I think overall they don't fully elevate what they're trying to elevate. So for example, I do like the idea of your, you know, like kind of like that X situation of your, you know, you have this sexual moment going on and then it is instantly, you know, destroyed. The line that I love the best in it is the sound as if a rooted tree is being pulled from the earth. That is the best line, I think, of both. I love how just grotesque it is, but everything leading up to it is taking so much time. As was said, it's just taking too much time to tell us things that are not that complicated to get to how good that is. I also just don't like the yelling A-H-H-H-H-H. I feel like that is not something I typically see. I might be wrong, but I kind of leaned into that. I think that it just, and the descriptions aren't helping me. Like if it's just supposed to be, she's really small, that you could do that well without being okay. And then I'm going to be, I'm sorry. I'm going to be long. That's just how it's going to be. Sorry. So with page two, I love that, again, just like the last set, we were dropped in the middle of the action. I do agree with Nate that I wasn't as invested as I would think I would be considering the situation, which seems kind of unfair because all the pieces are here. There's just something very much keeping us at arm's length emotionally from it. So I think that for both, I like the situation that is occurring, but I don't feel that the execution of either is pulling me in as much as I would like. So I am going to say that they are both amateur, which is then therefore Kobayashi.
My immediate reaction was that as well. And my reasoning, I think, I mean, you're going to see it in the playback, and now I feel bad that the writer might see this, but when they described Natalie, I kind of cringed. And I kind of see, I think that Natalie, off this first page, Natalie's the monster, but I think that you could have described, look, I'm 5'6" and 120. But if you describe me as 5'6", 120, petite, it's not as important as describing me as demure, delicate. That to me is way more descriptive of what I look like, how I act, what my energy is. So to me, right off the bat, I was like, I would never. Also, this was written by a man. It was written by a man. I'm sorry.
That's a different game show. Was this written by? It's a really easy game show.
I just feel like the physical, especially in the last 5 years, don't write what they look like, write what their energy is. And you're gonna get a better read on who this person is. I did guess just by the whole thing that she's a monster. But anyway, so that was kind of my initial reaction to that. The second one, I didn't feel as pulled in. That's a stupid reason to say it's not a professional.
10 seconds.
I mean, if I have to choose like this, then yes, they're both amateur.
Okay.
All right.
Jason's going to be like, you're all wrong.
If they're professional, I feel horrible.
And so everybody's going both amateur, Kobayashi Maru, correct?
That's what we're doing.
Mhm.
All right. And the big reveal is you're all wrong.
Oh no, they're both.
Wow.
Of course.
It is not the Kobayashi Maru, and B2 is the professional.
Okay.
All right.
I'm
All
not
right.
shocked that B2 was the professional out of those two, though. So
Yeah, so
That's-
B2
yeah.
was written by dear friend of mine, Brent Cote, who's a writer-director. So he's directed a bunch of stuff. He's
that's
directed,
interesting. Okay.
yeah, it's called it's his feature script called Shinigami. His bio is he graduated Vancouver Film School in 2000. He's optioned over 30 feature screenplays.
Damn.
He's had five produced. Wow. He's directed multiple proof of concepts and directed 3 feature films, TV commercials, and he's repped at Anonymous.
Well, now I feel bad.
I mean, that's how is it like there's so much weird subjectivity when you're doing this like on the spot.
It is. That's what's
like,
fun about it.
Well, and this is why we should all fear the first reader that you get at any company, because they could just be like, like for me, I had an unfair judgment that I wanted to make on page 2, where it was the thick red blood shows it's an artery. It's not good. And I just didn't like that the two it's were so close together. I was just like, I don't like that. We can't control if some random ass reader decides to do the same thing to our thing.
Yeah,
like,
right.
You know, so.
I mean, like every Oscar winner has been passed on by multiple places.
Sure,
like it's just.
What were you saying, Julie?
I was just saying, knowing that he's a director, and if I was reading it and I knew he was a director, I don't think I would have the same critique as, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would understand a little more that why it might be written not as specifically, or not as like, here are the rules. Like,
yeah.
You know, this actually brings up a really interesting, very quick aside, where most people starting out to read, when they first figure out they like this, a lot of them tend to incidentally pick writer-director projects to read and to start learning from. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to somebody and they're like, I learned from reading Christopher Nolan or Quentin Tarantino. And, you know, like, and it's like, well, cool. Those are great scripts, but they are written from a very specific, I am directing this. I don't have to worry about grammar or, you know, I don't have to worry about like how this is going to look because I know it. You can just kind of get a sense of it, but I know it well enough that I don't need to have it on the page. And I find that more often than not, when people start learning the craft from reading a lot of writer-director projects first, they miss a core component of carrying over craft, or they don't overly value stuff that they don't they don't value correctly the things that you as not a writer director should be worried about. So I find that interesting.
And that's a great point. I've read that script. He's a very good friend of mine. We've been working together about 3 years on stuff. Got some things moving, but the whole script is like nonstop action, and he's very intentional with each shot. So I thought it would be fun to like show a script like that versus a spec or something,
For sure.
See the differences.
Yeah, and also it's also just like it's the first page, right? Like, and ideally, like, you know, you're creating some sort of feeling with that first page, but like as long as it gets you to turn to page 2, like it's doing its job. And like this certainly wouldn't have stopped me from reading page 2.
Yep. So the first page, B1, was the amateur. It's called Where's the Smoke? It's a feature written by Mitchell McInerney. The log line is, after a mental breakdown lands her in a psychiatric hospital, a burnt-out detective is recruited by a covert organization to hunt the occult. His bio is he's a 16-year police officer, 6 years on the SWAT team, and he's specialized in sniper, chemical munitions, and hostage negotiations.
Wow. Good for him.
Great.
No,
background.
actually, I know who Mitchell is, and like through kind of YouTube and social and things like that. And I know that he's actually only been writing for like a couple of years, I think.
Yeah,
so,
he's pretty new on the scene.
So he's doing well. But
I also want to say, just in me being like cringing when the character descriptions, I think it also comes from years of me getting my character descriptions and auditions of pretty, sexy.
Yeah.
Pretty, but doesn't know it.
Pretty, but she doesn't know it. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. What does that mean?
It's just like there's nothing to play if you're not giving the actor anything to play. You're
So that was definitely from my own personal trigger, I think. But
and we all have it. We all have them.
Yeah.
So Julie, how do you typically write your characters based on like
of my own personal experience with it? I tend to lean to what I was talking about. Like if I was going to rewrite that, or if I was going to give him notes, I would have said, every time you're talking about a physical thing, put in a character attribute. Like I could easily use demure and delicate, and you'd know exactly that she's small and sweet and not one that you'd ever expect to turn into the monster that she is.
Sure.
To me, 2 words: demure, delicate. So those kind of things. And that would have 3 more lines for action below.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's a great note.
Is say, I don't need more than 2 words for each person. So that's it. I don't need anything else.
And I just want to say to Mitchell, we appreciate you offering your page up as tribute for this conversation, because I think it's an important thing to talk about. And like, obviously the fact that we're like focusing on it is like, that's a very simple change that writers can make to their pages that will have a major impact, because then instead of being a roadblock, you flow through it, you get an idea of and then you're invested in the story.
Yeah.
Well, kudos to Mitchell for once things get going and the visceral stuff kicks in and the language really serves that's impressive stuff. So well done on that.
I do want to know what happens on the next page.
And again, the description of a body being ripped off as a rooted tree being pulled from the earth. I'm jealous. That's beautiful.
It's good.
All right, you ready for C pages?
Yeah, man. Let's do the next one.
All right, here we go. C1. Interior, Maureen's house, day. Tuna fish in a bowl, thick and chunky. Now a dollop of mayonnaise. A fork stirs it around with a wet, goopy sound. Maureen McNulty, 17, stands at the counter, focused. The goopy stirring gets louder in her ears, overwhelming. At the kitchen table, her mother, Joy, 40s, types on a laptop with rapid clack, clack, clacks. To the back door, we see Maureen's father, Mike, 40s, mowing along with a noisy A phone lights up on the counter beside Maureen. The background, a family photo. Ping, ping, ping. She winces with every one, covering her ears. She grabs the phone, seeing a notification from Bridget. My kitty misses her owner. Another text immediately follows this one, a photo we can't see, but Maureen does. Maureen, Mom, someone's texting Dad about their missing cat, but attached a photo of their vagina instead. Joy immediately stops typing, rushes over to Maureen, and takes the phone from her. Joy scrolls, eyes widening. Interior, Maureen's house, later. Maureen now sits at the table, earbuds in, engrossed in a video on her phone about sea anemones. Behind her, Joy and Mike yell at each other furiously, but luckily to us, it's completely muted, as we can only hear the dry British narrator from Marine's video. Narrator, sea anemones don't search for food. Don't search for
You're like
food.
the thing from Finding Nemo.
Yeah, and I'm not doing the accent. The current carries tiny creatures to their tentacles, and using specialized stinging cells, they fire toxin-tipped barbs and leave their prey completely immobilized. Joy throws Mike's shit out on the lawn. The bowl of tuna sits on the counter, now attracting flies. C2. Interior, kitchen, day. This isn't just a kitchen, it's a fantasy. A Viking stove, a Sub-Zero refrigerator, a farmhouse sink. Traditional elegance meets country charm. It's warm, inviting, and aspirational. Nancy Myers, eat your heart out. Standing at the Marble Island is Vivian Hartley, 60s, a force of nature wrapped in a cashmere cardigan. She's placing the final tier on top of the most incredible layer cake, an artist finishing her masterpiece. Then she looks straight at us. Vivian, when my daughter was a little girl, every year on her birthday, I'd bring out the cake and tell her to close her eyes and make a wish. And she'd always ask me, what should I wish for, Mom? And I'd always tell her the same thing. Wish for the world, because one day you can have it all. As Vivian speaks, we pull out to reveal cameras, lights, and a production crew. Vivian isn't speaking to us, and this isn't her kitchen. This is actually a set in a TV studio, and Vivian is filming her hit cooking show, At Home with Heartland. Now she picks up a palette knife and begins to perfectly ice the cake. Vivian, we as parents know there is a lot more to it than that. Belief is just the first ingredient. Actually making it happen, well, that takes hard work. Vivian smiles, trading the palette knife for a piping bag. Vivian, but we don't want to spoil the fantasy, so we tell them little white lies.
Cool.
There's your 2 pages. I think we're starting again with Julie's team. Julie and
that sounds right.
Yeah. Do you want to start off, or do you want me to?
Sure. Right off the bat, nothing like stood out to me glaringly that both of these weren't professionals. I think like, I don't know, maybe like if I had to like, if you were like, you have to choose one. I actually don't know what the answer would be, to be honest.
Okay.
The first scene, like the clack, 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 the noisy the ping, 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 all of that. Technically, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like from a don't save the cat standpoint, like, I don't know. It didn't bother me. I noticed it, but it didn't bother me. I got what they were, getting. And I love, there was so much analogy and like juxtaposition and the sea anemones. I thought that was just really, really well written, like the whole setup. So to me, that did not stand out as amateur. And kind of same as the second one, it really set it up I love the Nancy Myers Eat Your Heart Out. I personally love reading and having like the writer's comments on it. I enjoy that. I know some people really don't like it. I like it. I saw Martha Stewart right there. I could hear her words, or even that redheaded woman, I can't remember her name, but she has like a Heartland show basically. And
10 seconds.
I could hear a Southern accent. I don't know. I could feel the entire scene. I don't know. What do you think, Jeff?
Okay. We'll make an agreement at the end. That's okay. All right. I think I'm going to lean towards C2 as the pro, but for kind of a BS reason. So I like both of these pages a lot. And I really, really like this joke, by Kitty, Miss Roner, and then what Marine says. That it's fantastic. It's laugh out loud funny for me. So I'm very biased by how good that felt as the execution of that idea. But then the rest of the stuff around it, there's white space. It moves fast. There's a cool little like analogy thing going on with the sea anemones, but I feel like that there's a pacing thing for me that didn't feel quite evocative enough. It's very unfair. Whereas Page 2 has the same type of white space. I feel like has a very similar control and craft of language, but I am more immediately in the moment. The pacing is just ever so slightly elevated.
A little more buttery. It's like
Buttery, yep.
You know, not
Yeah.
food, but yes.
Yeah. So as much as I love that's the core of the joke of the first one. I think that's an amateur being really fucking good. Whereas this thing with Vivian feels like it's got a little more professional. Like I'm sitting here, I've got a job to do, and I'm going to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going C2 as the professional.
I can see that, and I'll agree with you there.
All right, locked in. Nate and Scott.
All right, I think I'm first on this one, right, Scott?
I think so.
Okay. It wouldn't shock me at all if both of these are professional writers, not even a little bit. If I were going to lean toward one, it would probably be C1, and like only in the sense that, and if I'm wrong, kudos to this writer. I'd like put money on C1 being a professional writer. I just feel like it's very clean. I'm getting great visuals, like I'm understanding exactly what I'm watching. I think the text message and then what follows is so well delivered that I'm just very interested in everything that's going on and kind of locked in to see how everything develops. But I also thought C2 was really, really good. I think the only thing that I would say, and this is the like tiniest detail that doesn't even matter. I don't know if a professional writer would write Nancy Meyers Eat Your Heart Out, but they might. I mean, it depends on the writer. It depends. It's just voicey stuff.
Oh, they would.
What's that?
I think so.
You think so? Yeah. I mean, I've seen stuff like that, but I don't know. Nancy Meyers, I think the reason why is because that's so film culture specific. But then again, like you're writing for a film culture audience. So
10 seconds.
Scott, if you want to do it again, I'm fine with saying these are both pros. But otherwise,
we're going to do it every time, man. Don't you understand?
C1.
We're going to shoot the moon every time. I agree. I agree with you. I lean towards. I think they're both great. I pretty much agree with everybody here. I think they're both great. I think they're both really smooth and sure-handed and solid. They make me feel very well taken care of immediately as in terms of how they move me through things. The specificity is great. The scene setting is great. The illusions are great. I have seen people use things like Nancy Meyers Eat Your Heart Out. I mean, that's like that is I think a Damon Lindelof trick even to do these kind of like little parenthetical sort of, shout outs to different things because he's so good at talking to executives apart from being a great writer. I mean, he's doing it in the script. He's kind of like pitching them on here's what you're seeing. Here's the comps. So that doesn't push it out of the realm of possibility. I think they're both real solid. I would lean towards the first one because the timing and the staging for camera are so good.
Yeah.
Like the way they execute the gag and the way how crisp it is visually, how they kind of like how you can kind of see the shots. You even put the dollop of mayonnaise in after the tuna. I'm watching how like it's very sequential and
it's tuna. And then there's a vagina joke.
Oh, there is. I didn't even think about that. I didn't get that until now that this was. But you're right. No, that's
like that was a very thoughtful-ish.
I like the ish.
That's what you want to see. It's like I can't give you full credit because you're gross, but well done. Well done.
No, I think it's a really good.
Well
page.
played.
Yeah.
Really no. I think it's. I would lean towards the first one. On the other hand, Nate, we're 50-50 for a Kobayashi at this point. Our odds are good.
I think we should just do it, man. Like honestly, like I really do believe these could both be professional writers. I mean, I really do. Like I think they're both excellent pages. So
all right. So what are y'all locking in?
We're doing it. We're doing it.
All right. Now,
Scott.
Julie, before this, okay. Julie, do you want to switch with where we're at? Because I was really close. I was really close.
I will say, my first instinct was they were both professional.
All right, I think we go with your professional. I think we go with your gut because I'm not locked in enough. Okay. I'm willing to change.
Oh no, I hate the smile on Jason's face right now. This is terrible.
So everybody is saying Kobayashi both pro.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, you ready for the answer?
Yes.
You're
You are correct. It is the Kobayashi.
Finally got it. All right.
But they're both amateur.
Whoa!
Yes,
That's
sir.
amazing.
That's awesome.
Hats
Uh,
off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Damn.
so C1 was written, it's called Filter Feeder. It's a feature written by Melina No. The log line is when a brutally honest autistic teen exposes her father's affair that destroys her parents' marriage, she forms an unlikely bond with his mistress and recruits her to help steal her crush away from his girlfriend. She's a newer.
That's so fun.
She only started writing during the pandemic, and she's based in Hawaii, and she is a MS Paint artist extraordinaire.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Wow.
B2 is titled Self-Made. It's a pilot written by Karen Rubenstone. Her series logline is Vivian Hartley built her lifestyle empire on the belief that women belong in the kitchen and they can have it all. But with her star fading, Vivian turns to her estranged daughter, Julia, to help save the company and hopefully repair what she broke. With a child on the way and everything approved, Julia steps back into her mother's world, but in an empire built on perfection and control, can either woman really have it all, or does someone always pay the price? This pilot is a finalist right now at the Austin Film Festival.
Awesome.
Nice.
Now,
She
you,
worked-
you knew what you were doing with these pages.
Yes,
You
I did.
knew what you were doing.
But she,
You are getting us reading so many pages. I'm so mad at you.
So Karen worked in fine dining in the world-renowned 11 Madison Park, which inspired her script To Die For, which is a reimagining of Macbeth set in the cutthroat world of fine dining, which was a semifinalist at Screencraft. She's been a showrunner's assistant, writer's assistant, and script supervisor on several series for ABC, CBS, Netflix, and Warner Brothers.
Awesome.
Nice.
So, yep, those are
So
pretty
right
impressive.
around the corner from
Oh yeah.
from being a professional. That's really cool.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. Yeah.
All right, final pages. Here we go. Y'all
All right,
ready?
Scott, can we get one right? What do you think?
I'm really. I feel like I am the worst I've ever been.
I have never offered the
I'm so
entire
sorry,
show.
Julie.
So
I'm so sorry, Julie.
Let's see.
You're doing great.
So much fun.
And everybody in the
I feel like
comments
I'm
is going to
poisoned
be
the
like,
room
I got
somehow,
4
guys.
for
I'm so
4. I don't
sorry.
know what your problem was. So
All right, here we go. Final 2 pages. D1. Interior, middle-class New York kitchen, night. Deep guttural sobs as we slowly pan over the homey space. Pristine laminate countertops sport an overturned wine glass. A small pool of Chardonnay drips onto the floor. A few plates dry on a rack next to a sink full of soapy water and dirty dishes. A bowl lies shattered on the ground. The stainless steel fridge displays report cards full of bees and a honeydew list with nary an item crossed off. The fridge door hangs slightly ajar. The hardwood floor sparkle as it just mops, save the crimson pool leading to the source of the sobs. A man, 35, sturdy with salt and pepper hair, is hunched on his knees, his shoulders slouch under an unknowable weight. He clutches a slender woman, 35, whose auburn hair and cold, pale skin are drenched in blood. His face is buried in her bloody bosom. He can hardly draw in enough air to breathe through his cries. After a few heart-wrenching moments, he raises his head. Face covered in blood and streaked with tears and snot, he lets out a scream of pure anguish. This is Detective Derek Jack. Cut to interior police interrogation room night. The low hum of fluorescent lighting, a two-way mirror, walls constantly closing in. At a lonely table sits Danny Roth, 32, sporting a gold chain and a sneer. He leans back and picks at his teeth, not a care in the world. Sweat just starts to dot Danny's upper lip. It's hot. Thud. Scrape. The metal door opens. In walks a slightly older and decidedly not blood-soaked Detective Jack. He exudes a sense of calm that only complete and utter control can give. But his eyes, they're dim, sad, haunted. That's D1. D2. Over black, far away. Machine guns fire. Then they grow louder, coming into focus until all at once sonic carnage surrounds us. Grenades explode. Bullets snap and crack. Men scream in between blasts. The screams continue as we finally see exterior, the Rhine, day. A man's eyes, bloodshot red and focused on a face caked in dirt. This is Corporal Robert Jones, 22, American. Super, Drusenheim, Germany, 1944. Jones kneels behind a pile of sandbags, a half dozen satchel charges weighing him down. He's an ordnance specialist, demolition and explosives. In his left hand, 2 copper wires. In his right, a blasting machine, a canteen-sized detonator. Everything vibrates as Jones carefully threads the wires into the detonator's terminals. He twists them secure, ignoring the chaos that surrounds him. He's focused, calm. He primes the detonator, flicks a switch, and drops it, clapping his hands over his ears. The world shakes. The blast sends mud, sandbags, and bodies into the air, then clarity. The world grows still. And the stillness is cut by battle cries. Boots slam into the mud and stomp forward, in advance, passing Jones. Jones readies his rifle, about to join in, but two filthy hands grab him by the lapels. It's Lieutenant Richardson, 25, right in Jones's face. Richardson, what did you do? Jones, what? Snap! Richardson's neck explodes. Red, bloody mist showers Jones. The dying man pulls Jones down. Jones drops his rifle, applies pressure to Richardson's neck. Everywhere, screaming, charging American soldiers rush forward, only to be mowed down by machine gun fire. More grenades explode. Bullets ping and snap as they strike anything and everything. Men collapse in heaps. The lucky ones are dead before they hit the ground. It is a massacre. There you go. Enjoy.
Brutal.
Who's first?
I think Nate and Scott.
No,
I think it's us.
Oh, is it? Okay. All right.
Yeah,
So you get to go first.
I'll go first.
Thank God.
I'll be wrong first. Because
I was hoping we'd have
do.
like 3 more minutes to
I can
review
achieve.
these pages while they talked.
I'm going to I'm gonna guess Haunted Detective is pro over Saving Private this guy. And I think the reason I think I think both of these show like great genre awareness. Like they're very solid textbook examples of a kind of movie or television program, of a kind of genre. They neither has a great deal of specificity. Both deal like it's interesting because they both deal almost entirely in tropes. Like the haunted detective is like, here's why he's haunted and here's that he's haunted.
Yep.
And he's a detective. He's a hard-boiled cop. I mean, all of those things are like they're all there in exactly the form that you would kind of imagine. Not I might expect someone familiar with that genre to sort of dispatch the idea of the haunted detective in a slightly more succinct way, or more stippled, or more just kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of a classic. It's sort of a house number, the someone cradling their dead spouse, cut to present day, or I could see it done in like 3/4 of a page as opposed to a full page, maybe.
10 seconds.
The war scene, similar kind of thing. Like I guess what I don't get on the page in the second one is the sense of like, what has he done, in fact, like that was wrong. It seems like, and how does that sort of plug into what is eventually going to be his character problem? It's just kind of, you're getting the basics of the world and genre. I guess I think I might tilt a little bit towards the first one being the pro, but I'm honestly not sure. They're both so like, here's a genre. I don't what do you think, Nate?
I agree with basically everything you said except which one you picked.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I would go the other way. I could actually go the other way.
It's really,
I think I talked myself out of it.
No, but it's I think they're both very well written and well executed versions of that genre. I would say that the first one, it feels, and I understand what you're saying. They're kind of both leaning into tropes. The first one, what I'm seeing on screen feels less unique to me than what I'm seeing on screen in the second one, even though the way it's written on the page in the first one is really excellent. Like I love the way that like this is Detective Derek Jack at the end is just kind of like, that's like it's just like it's a very well executed hook to bring me into the next scene and keep reading, right? Like I really think that's well done. But I think like in terms of what's going to be on screen, it's a little less interesting and a little less unique to me. And I wouldn't say D2 is necessarily unique, but it feels like the chaos is really well executed, and like that right there is going to just kind of keep me going, keep me watching. And then like for instance, like that moment, that visual of being grabbed by his lapels and kind of pulled back, and like you're seeing like, oh, okay, like the dynamic of this scene just changed completely. Here's a new character, and now some new information is entered. That to me is, I don't know. I think that makes me lean toward page two. I think they're both really well written. It wouldn't shock me if
You
either one.
convinced me. I'll break page two.
But
I think
all right.
The first one I'm just too close to because it's so close to my page one for my spec script Jack Fuck.
Oh, that makes sense.
So close.
That makes
It's like,
This is just
it's just act.
this is
Jack
the ghost
Fuck.
of
That's-
Jack Fuck today.
but
It's yeah. I'll have to show this script to you sometime. No one's seen it yet.
Yeah, that
So
sounds
good.
great. I
Yes.
appreciate
It's so
it.
Yes.
But I like them both a lot. I think they're both really well written. It wouldn't shock me if either's the pro. But yeah, if you're comfortable, I would say two. And Jason, I just want to ask you, is there a twist to this pair?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Because we choose it.
I-
We're so easy to get.
No, I'm just
Tell us a
curious.
twist, we're
I'm
like,
just
we
curious
vote for
if
the
he
twist.
threw another curveball in this one, but
No,
that's fine.
nope, just one curveball.
Okay.
All right, so you're locking in
Mhm.
D2 as the pro. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. No. All right, Julie and Joe.
Okay. You mind if I start, Julie?
Please, please.
Okay. So I get that we're dealing with archetypes here. And for me, it really does come down to who executes the archetypes better for me. And for me, I feel like page two does achieve what it's trying to do better. And I feel like it's a little more impressive that I would feel that way because we have seen a lot of war stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and exactly, Scott, as you said, like Saving Private whoever, it's so built into this type of thing where, Saving Private Ryan so mastered this. How are you going to try to achieve it in a way that doesn't just feel like, oh, there it is again? And I felt like the writing and the visual language was so impressive considering how well presented this space has been. There are so many little, like, for example, right off the bat, Sonic Carnage. That is such an evocative way of describing that. Going down to the bottom, the lucky ones are dead before they hit the ground. There are things that I feel like I instantly lean in, even with the archetypes at play, to be like, I would read the next page, even if the next page is also playing with overly familiar archetypes. I would more turn that page than with page one, just because I am personally very exhausted by sad detective with dead wife, and it's very unfair of me. And I know, and this is like a personal thing I'm bringing to it, where I'm like, if it could be any other person other than dead wife, it could be a dog, it could be a household of orphans, anybody else. I just, as soon as I see that, like,
I'm actually the dead wife. If you see, it's
oh,
me. I'm the dead wife.
it's you. You are the, okay. I feel, okay. I
There
feel
was
a little bit better.
The hair. You've read this
Yep.
script. You're like, I read for this corpse.
It's me or Jessica Chastain.
An Academy Award winning as corpse. So again, very, I'm leaning towards one because I didn't get dinged by little things that I know are unfair at the time, but they are still there. So I'm going with page two as the pro.
All right, Julie.
I'm just gonna assume that we must know that the wife is dead, and that's why the detective is the way he is. It has to be that. We have to know that, right? Because if not, I don't want to know that. It would be way more interesting for me to open this script and start interior police interrogation room night. And then his eyes, they're dim, sad, haunted. Oh, why are they haunted? What happened to him? And then I'm going to assume that there was a dead wife, but at least I don't know that off the bat. But I mean, there might be a reason why we have to know that on page 1 as the opening scene. Maybe it's not just for dramatic effect. Maybe it's extra important for the story that we already know that. But I think because of that, because I don't know the answer to that, that kind of makes me lean that this could be the amateur. I would be more interested in watching a show. This reads to me like a TV series. Maybe I'm wrong, but if I would want to know, by the end of episode, halfway through season 1, maybe, or maybe the end of season 1, really see that scene. That could be the end of season 1. I don't know. The second one, in my head, I'm going, oh, another World War II. Boom, boom, boom. But it was written really well. And I think that's just my own, and I also had the thought in my head, another one, oh, but wait, every time there's another one, it's also really good. So, and there's more stories to tell. There will always be more stories to tell from these wars. So that was my own, thing. But I think it was executed really well, and I was pulled in more to the second one. So I'm gonna go with the D2 being the professional.
All right. So
I'd like to add one more thing. So sorry, I'm going to
go for
a little longer. I want to add one more thing that Julie reminded me that I wanted to say and I forgot. Usually with the type of opening we're getting with page 1, there would be an it factor element. There would be like a weird symbol on the wall. There would be an item of mystery. There would be some extra element of what does that mean before we cut away? But I'm just being like, here's dead wife. That's it.
Yeah.
That's literally it. And I think that no matter how well written that beat is, just the fact that there isn't something mysterious that's making us want to know more about dead wife or moment dead wife happened. That would be another amateur move for me.
Okay. I agree.
All right. Everybody's locking in D2 as a professional.
Tell us we're all wrong again.
Well, as luck and fate would have it, you are all correct.
Okay.
So D2 is the professional. It's called Blood Company, written by Jonathan Robertson. His bio,
John Robertson. All right.
This is a action horror spec. It's brand new. He's going to take out this spring, and he says he likes to say it starts like the Guns of the Navarone and turns into Brides of Dracula.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
I'll read the log line since he sent it and he's taking it out. But May 1945, as the curtain falls on World War II, a quartet of American GIs on a covert mission behind enemy lines find themselves caught between a psychotic rogue American general and an ancient power that could bring the world to its knees.
Fuck yes.
So he's waiting for, he's a professional writer. He's waiting for a couple
hang on. Julie, what did you say?
I was just going to say that to me, I'm really drawn to mixed genres.
Yeah.
I love when it's, a comedy horror, or if, this to me, first page, I would never have thought it was going to have any horror or that. I love that. That is exciting.
Same.
He's managed with Nate by Spike Selden over at Remarkable Media. And
he's got actually the guy who referred me to Spike. So
several projects in development.
That's so cool.
Yep. So the amateur page. Oh, let me see. I lost it. Oh, it was D1. All right, D1. The amateur page was called "Locked In" by Kevin Kojak. The log line for that is a domineering detective who exploits ethically gray time loop technology to interrogate the guilty finds himself locked in his own loop when he's framed for his estranged brother's murder. Described as Edge of Tomorrow meets Phone Booth. He's
The estranged brother is the dead one?
He's framed for his estranged brother's murder. Yep.
Okay.
He has a lot of dead family members.
Yeah.
A lot of dead family.
Cool.
He's an Austin Film Festival semifinalist. He's a Page semifinalist. He actually just finished directing a proof of concept for this, but as a short. And he's a former Team USA kickboxer, Harvard law student, and big law litigator turned stay-at-home dad.
All right.
Wow.
Some solid life experience.
I want to hear the screenplay about that.
Yeah.
If I read the log line first, I would be more intrigued. Because to me, mixing time travel, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I said when I read it. I was like, what a
I
great
wonder if
concept.
there's a way to put that on page one somehow, like
Yeah.
because the problem is when you just do a cut that's just a montage. I mean, you're doing the conventional time travel that is called filmmaking, and it's like so it's hard to know. It just seems like a time cut. It just seems like a normal edit. It does make you wonder, like, is there a way for him on page one to kind of tease that somehow? Maybe if he telescopes the scene with cradling the corpse a little bit and gives himself a little bit more space, and then finds a way to make some kind of jump that
some sort of camera cut or like effect.
Is there some kind of time marker that like in the scene, the way that
something
in the environment,
that
or
something visual that's like that shouldn't be there, something that makes us go wait. Yeah, I don't know if like the time loop lets you be in the same scene as you, but like if it's just an idea of like him watching him do this, or something.
That's a fun pitch.
Huh.
If he's there, I mean, because instantly you start out with the genre scene, cradling the loved one, and in the domestic bliss is broken, and you're like, oh, it's this kind of thing, and then you pull back and he is watching himself doing this, then all of a sudden you're kind of like, well,
yeah, that's an interesting hook.
And then you throw to something
especially
else.
if he's older, especially if he's older, like
especially if he's
like
especially
a clearly
an
older
time,
and maybe get when you see the older self, it's actually through a mirror or something like
okay,
that.
Something mediating it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a good visual language for it.
Yeah.
No, I also leaned in heavily with okay, now the premise is making me lean in more than the pages.
Which, I mean,
and
that's
that can
also
happen.
be,
that happens. Reading blind is the risk of that.
Yeah, like that's also the thing is like usually when you're reading a script, like you kind of have at least some sort of idea of what it's about, which we never do when we're doing this, and that also throws us for a loop. But I mean, I thought it was really, really strong writing. Would not have shocked me if he was pro, but I think that's it. You make a really interesting point where if you can find like that one thing that kind of pulls you in and like hooks you or makes it feel different than the scene that you've already seen before, like that's a game changer.
It keeps people reading. It keeps them turning the pages.
So, Scott and Julie, you got any final thoughts for us based on this experiment?
I mean, hats off to all these writers, I guess. I mean, like, I think like the quality across the board is pretty impressive. As picky as we're being, and totally. as podcasty meeting catty as we like to be, because that's fun on a podcast. Really, hats off to everybody for just really knowing the craft that they're engaged in. I mean, these are people who have clearly studied this stuff, who understand visual language, who know what a script is and what it isn't. So, I mean, that alone is head and shoulders above a lot of what you read, even professional things that you read.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like sometimes when I get scripts, I can tell it's written by an amateur. You know what I mean? Like, because I said before we started recording, most of the time I'm doing TV. So when I get some film auditions, they tend to be first time directors or first time writers, and I can see through a lot of it. But I would say any of these, I don't think I would have been as, I mean, I don't think it was as obvious. You paired them up really well. It was hard.
Yeah.
I don't think Jason's allowed to pick anymore.
Well, no, I definitely think that it is too much of a suck on if we don't know where the Kobayashi is, because you could literally pick every single one as a Kobayashi, and I think that is too. I don't like that. I want to go back to like tell us which one it is.
I've traumatized Joe.
No, it broke me. It broke me. And I'm watching Nate and Scott be like, well, okay, we're doing it again. We're doing it again. It's like watching your friend at the casino being like, all in on red again.
That was 100% what it was.
There's only so much money you have.
Well, you
Julie,
two are great. Thank you so much for being part of this. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you both.
Very special to have you on as guest. Where can people find you online or social media or whatever?
I'm across the board just at Julie McNiven. I'm not really on X or Threads, but I'm there, but I don't really participate. I mainly just do Instagram,
Okay.
and mainly just when I'm working. Like you'll see like months of nothing, or like one little family thing, and then a spew of silly videos at a convention or whatever. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Yeah, Julie, here's our Grey's Anatomy shared thing. On my IMDb, everyone is always like, what's it like writing for Grey's Anatomy? You've been writing for them for 10 years now. And it just breaks my heart to be like, I keep trying to get this fixed.
Oh no.
It's another Scott Brown.
No,
My name is Scott Brown. Yeah. Yeah. No. I get that. I get that all the time. I feel like I booked meetings on that, sadly, where people are kind of like, it's like, it's so, because also they're
so
kind of like,
funny, man.
They're like, your resume is really weird. You write Broadway musicals and dramas, and also Grey's Anatomy, this network show, which must be like, that's the cash register. And I'm kind of like, yeah, it would be the cash register if only that.
That's funny. But the Castle Rock, that is really you, because that's
that's real.
That's our local Massachusetts.
Castle Rock,
yeah.
Sharp Objects, Beetlejuice, Gutenberg, Manhattan, this Kennedy show that's coming up on Netflix.
Sweet.
That's I'm in the mix on those. But
yeah,
hell yeah.
Speaking of which, is there anything else that you guys want to shout out or promote while you're here? Or?
Oh boy, Beetlejuice is on Broadway right now. Please go see it.
Hell yeah!
Take your children.
That's amazing.
Then I can say now, but yeah.
All right. Well, we'll see more, I'm sure.
Yep.
Thank you both so much for being here. We appreciate it. And we'll have this up online pretty soon, I think. So thanks.
Yay.
All right.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks for having us.
Guys.
This was so much fun.
If you want to see more Spot the Pro, make sure to like and subscribe. Click that hype button if it's available, and also leave a comment. Tell us how you did with your own guesses, and let us know which pages were your favorites. And if you're an aspiring or professional writer and you'd like to feature a page on a future episode, head on over to my website and follow the instructions there. The link can be found in the description below, and if it's still live, that means we're still accepting pages. Thanks, and we'll see you in the next one.